Progressive Democrats recently withdrew a letter to the president, Biden, that said, that urged him to seek a diplomatic end to the Russian-Ukraine conflict. The letter from the Democrats was, you know, Joe, let's try to sit down and talk about this. Let's try some diplomacy. That's all they said. You ought to go over there and we ought to try some. Tell me what happened when these little handful of Democrats made that suggestion.
Right, it was the Progressive Caucus, the real progressives.
Real progressives, the ones we talk about that we need to put in Washington all the time.
And they basically got slapped by the Democratic leadership saying, how dare you try to question what it is we're doing here. And what really means is, how dare you piss off our defense contractor funders. Right. Stop that. You're going to make them mad and we're going to lose money right before the midterms. Right. There was nothing wrong with this letter.
Look, Farron, that is not, look, your theories are always right on. I mean, when you say, what you just said, why did it happen? Because we're close to election. The weapons industry was very concerned that this is going to make our defense contractors really mad. You just said that. My guess is that you had not even seen the other dozen articles that talk about that.
I had not.
I believe that. But the point is, that's why it happened. So the president, rather than sitting down saying, you know, we ought to talk to these folks before we engage in nuclear frigging war, maybe we ought to talk to them. And the Democrats that made that suggestion were shamed. I mean, absolutely shamed.
Well, and the Washington Post, refers to it as a giant misstep. It's not a giant misstep to say, hey, instead of getting people killed, what if we sat down and talked, used actual diplomacy?
Yeah.
Right? We're not living in a Bay of Pigs situation anymore, and we shouldn't be. Okay. We've evolved.
Think about that. Washington Post. What's the connection? Bezos, huge war contractor.
Yep.
Okay, so they take the position, what a stupid thing to say. You mean you really want to sit down and work it out before we start a nuclear conflict? How stupid. That's the Washington Post saying that. Farron, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
That's all for this week, but all of these segments are going to be available this coming week right here on this channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at America's Lawyer. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you the stories that corporate media won't tell you because their advertisers won't let them, or because their political connections are so polarized that they can't allow for it. We'll see you next time.